Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. WTF is Space Run. It's strangely enough, even though it looks like something from perhaps the Homeworld franchise, or maybe even a little bit like Gratuitous Space Battles, nothing bloody like either of them. It's actually a tower defense game of sorts, but before you turn the video off, I'm aware we've done quite a few tower defense games in the past. This one might be worth a look. It is a rather interesting spin on the old tower defense formula, and involves kind of constructing a spaceship as you go. You're given a set layout every time, which is a spaceship basically made of hexes. You're given one engine and some cargo, and you're expected to get to the end of the level, or the so-called run, while keeping your cargo and hopefully your ship in one piece. The faster you go, the more you get paid at the end. In order to go faster, you need more engines and more power, but you have a limited budget, which you get from destroying things like meteors, competing freighters, and of course pirate ships that attempt to attack you during your run. So you have to decide what to spend. If you spend too much on engines, well, you're going to get blown to pieces. And if you spend too much on guns, well, you're not going to get there fast enough and you're not going to get paid all that well, or even at all. It's interesting, and it's by a company called Passtech. It is published by Focus Home Interactive, purveyor of a wide variety of different titles, some good, some not so much. Sort of one of those medium-level publishers that make a lot of publishing deals and put a lot of stuff out on PC, but seem to have issues putting out really notable products. Quite a few of them are not particularly good, but every now and again they do come along with something that actually shows quite a bit of promise, and actually Space Run is one of those games. I'd love to show you the options menu, but it's not available from here. You have to go into the game, so let's just do that. It only has one mode, that being single player, so I can jump into options from here. Not really a lot to see, I am afraid. Not too much. You can at least pick between which monitor, and then you can choose your resolution, as you can see right there. Desktop resolution or whatever other res you actually want to throw at it there. Easy enough, but no graphics options of any description outside of turning shadows on and off, which is a bit weird, I've got to say. Then you got controls, which you can rebind, which is certainly always good. And some of these shortcut keys you'll probably want to try and learn if at all possible. There we go. So, nothing really out of the ordinary there. Separate sliders for music, speech, and sound effects. Here's my recommended setting for speech. 0! Because it gets very, very annoying very, very quickly. So, you are a space trucker, and your space truck kind of changes configuration every single mission, and you are contracted by a variety of different companies in order to do all sorts of things. This company specializes in space tours of sorts, and you have to place individual rooms on the edges of your ship, power them, and then, of course, keep the tourists alive, because otherwise they will not be too happy by the end of it. These guys, who I just got, required to transport strange crystals, which have power-draining effects. These guys, well, nuclear stuff, lots of it, in fact, which has a tendency to explode if it gets hit too much. And these guys mostly focused on cargo, although you also have these modules called mechanics, which can actually build more cargo on the journey. Which doesn't... Why... If they can build it, why didn't they just send the mechanics along to the other place in the first place and then never have to transport any... logic. Just... It's in space. That's all you need to know. Now, you're able to spend your money, which you get at the end of every mission, depending on your performance, on a variety of upgrades and additional modules for your ship. At the moment, I have fully upgraded laser cannons and missile launchers, which are the basic weapons, and I just bought the twin blaster, and bought a couple of upgrades for it. Each has 3 upgrades. Usually the end one is a passive upgrade, which is very, very worth having. Very much so. Although these passive upgrades usually require power, so you'll have to place a power module, like this power generator, for instance, which again I've also upgraded to full. Thrusters here, I can also get better thrusters, better fusion reactors, and various different kinds of defenses, such as ion cannons, anti-missile defense units, magnetic shields, and so on and so forth. Now, you have to choose between buying new technology and upgrading your existing stuff. I chose to upgrade my existing stuff. That means the laser cannon is a very effective and fairly cheap piece of defense, and it is adding on 2 active abilities every time, so things can start to get pretty complicated. Alright, shall we attempt a delivery? We could try something difficult. We could try Exodus, for instance. Or I could try and do Planet Express again, actually. Let's do this one, because I only got 3 stars on it. You can repeat a mission as many times as you like. And as far as I can tell, you're kind of going to need to, because the game is not actually particularly easy. Not at all. So, this is the layout of the ship for this mission. I'm going to have to place my individual rooms out on the edges, so they're going to need to see space. And they're also going to need to be powered. It does start you off with 1 power generator, which is not enough, as far as I can tell, to power everything, although it may be possible to set something up. I don't think it is, though. Not from what I can tell. I don't think I can power everything with just 1. If I plump the power generator down there, then I can have a room here, but I can't have a room there. So I'm going to be powering a couple of things at a time. Maybe I could get 3 at most, but well, maybe they could go around the back. We'll give that a try. Just get rid of these. There we go. So if we put our individual rooms at the back here, it may be possible. No, it doesn't look like it is. All right, okay, whatever. So we'll plump them down just kind of in the middle of the ship there. You've got to be careful as to where you place your initial rooms and things like cargo, because there are certain spots of the ship that are very, very useful for things like defenses and engines. You can only put engines pushing towards the back. You've got to be careful about where you put your weapons as well, because if you put them in the wrong place, then you're in a whole lot of trouble, because you won't be able to angle them to shoot the enemy. Not particularly useful, is it? I don't really want to place these too close to the front, but I think this should be okay. And these are unpowered, but I should be able to build something quickly enough, and I'm going to plant one of my thrusters at the back here. Alright, let us begin our space run, and I'll show you exactly what's going on here. Now, for some reason, while recording, there's a bit of frame drop going on, which is a little bit weird, because I didn't actually experience that in-game. But once you get to the top-down view here, everything tends to run well. Okay, first things first. We need to power these things immediately, because they'll lose hull points if we don't. So, we're going to plunk one of those down, and we have a bunch of nasty, horrible little beasties coming in this general direction. So, we might want to do something about that. There we go. So, I'm going to place a laser cannon to the side here next to this power generator so I can activate its special abilities. And then I'm going to place down a second thruster. Now, if you note down to the bottom here, these are the 3 kinds of deliveries you can get. Standard, express, or light speed. You have to build more thrusters in order to get light speed delivery, which will get you a lot of extra cash if you can manage it. So I'm building one nice and early and hoping that I don't die horribly in the process. And you're going to see all the threats that are coming in our general direction. Let's turn this on to rapid fire. And unfortunately, I am going to take some pretty nasty hits from asteroids. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, I didn't die from them, though. At least I kept my... There we go. Thankfully, I kept that alive, so that's good. Alright, and we have incoming from the front here as well. This is a rival private shuttle that we wish to gun down. And we should have a lot of success if we're able to take it out, because that's going to give us a lot more cash. Now, if I get distracted while playing this, I do apologize, because this game is bloody well stressful. There is no pause button. There is no ability, unless there's something later on, to actually slow down time in any way either. It is not easy. And unfortunately, the game also doesn't have checkpoints, so if you mess up, you might as well restart your run. And some of these runs, as you can see, can be quite long. A light speed delivery on this mission takes just under 8 minutes. So, it's fairly lengthy. Alright. Take these guys out, get a little bit extra cash. We're going to end up missing this private shuttle. I don't think there's anything I can really do about that. Maybe if I can get a better gun. I want to get maybe a better front-mounted gun, but I don't think I can actually fit it. So that could be a bit of a problem there. Alright, I can do that, but I can't really angle it in the direction that I need to. So maybe I need to actually recycle that one. But I currently don't have... Oh, I should have enough cash in a second to maybe, just maybe, hold off these pirate starfighters that are coming from that direction, and then all of these bastards that are coming from this direction, and hopefully not have everything explode. Now, as you probably noticed... Oh, I'm gonna have to do a hot fix to keep that laser cannon alive. There we go. As you probably noticed, these... different things that you've got have various different abilities which you can activate. They cost resources in order to activate them. And a lot of the time they have disadvantages as well. If I put my cannon on rapid fire, I can't then rotate it. And I'm going to take yet more hits towards the back here. We might end up losing an engine or parts of the ship. Ah! Yep, that was parts of the ship going off there. And we did lose an engine in the process. So we're going to have to replace that. And we've got all manner of nonsense coming in this general direction. This is a very, very stressful game. And I think a lot of people might argue that a game like this almost certainly needs a pause button or some kind of time dilation. And honestly, As someone that kind of likes difficult games and actually loves stressful games, oh god, it's shooting at me as well. I'm basically dead here. I might as well restart. I failed this one completely, which is hilarious considering I beat this level previously, but it's currently kicking my ass. I like difficult games, but this game is really mean. It's unpleasantly difficult, actually. And it does take a lot of replaying the same kind of levels over and over again, I feel, in order to get them right. Thankfully, well, I suppose thankfully is one way of looking at it. These levels are fairly scripted, so you are going to experience the same kind of thing multiple times. I'll try and make sure that these are placed in an area where I can power them easily. If I can put them here, that would actually be ideal. So I can put a power generator right there. That also gives me the boost to the engines. The levels are scripted, so the same thing's going to happen every time. So, I wouldn't say maybe there's a bit of trial and error in it. Maybe. I think most of it comes down to just good decision making. But because of the amount of speed that you've got to put in... Should we have a... I don't necessarily want to use a laser cannon like that. Let's put one there. As we noticed last time, we took a lot of hits last time we attempted to do this, but if I put one here, I should be able to move that around there. Okay. There is maybe a bit of trial and error in it, but most of it is just skill. And you need quite a lot of skill to get 5 stars on these missions. I've run into some missions where I've had to retry them multiple times. That said, as I'm complaining about the difficulty, you could also argue, probably quite successfully, that half of the fun of a game like this is the amount of stress that it kind of inflicts on you. There are many stressful situations, and oh, thankfully that didn't die. It is very exciting to engage against that kind of thing. I'm going to put a heavy laser back there. There we go. That should hopefully give me the firepower I need to push through this. Maybe I can afford the repairs of this. There we go. That's that powered up. We have a laser on that side. The stress is kind of what keeps the adrenaline flowing. I still think that the game could definitely use a pause button of some description, or at least a slowdown effect. But it's definitely hard to argue that the game is boring. You know, it's not. It's very exciting. Oh, really? Ooh, okay. I use my switch configuration to split them up there, and now I can fire in both directions. That's kind of neat. I like that. That's something I just recently got, so I wasn't even aware it existed, but this is going to be fairly helpful for gunning these fellows down, I think. There we go. That's what I like to see. Okay, I really want to take him out, if possible. Really want to take him out. Put a gun towards the back there, maybe. And power supply, and then hopefully we can reorientate that gun, then turn on rapid fire, which should hopefully enable us to kill that. In the meantime, of course, we have asteroids coming from this direction. We got these bastards coming from this direction. I want to try and destroy that shuttle if possible for the cash, but I'm not sure if I will be able to do that. Ah, missing that shuttle is a big problem. And notice, by the way, I'm alive right now, but I'm way behind. I need more engines, I need more power, I need more bloody well everything. Oh, Panic Central. Panic Central. But hell, if you're looking for a hardcore experience, which is a mix of tower defense and sort of sci-fi shooter, then my god, this is that. It's actually a really, really nice mix, and I think they did a absolutely cracking job making this game compelling to play. I think there's even a doubt about that. Switch configuration there. I also have a laser beam ability. I want to try that out. Okay, maybe I can get another heavy laser down somewhere on the ship. I'm just trying to think of where. I also do have missile launchers that I could use, actually. That might be a thing. Let's do that. And I'm getting shot at, aren't I? Okay. We're going to need to hotfix that. And we're probably going to need shields in this general direction, but this is going to be a real problem, isn't it? Can't overpower it yet. Ah! Well, that gun's gone. Okay, maybe I should be able to survive this. And I can use the laser ability as they come forward to try and destroy them from here. It is nigh on impossible for me to sit here critiquing this game because I'm so bloody stressed playing it. This is one of the earlier levels. Oh my god. It's a really compelling mix, honestly. They took the tower defense genre and they did something new with it. And I appreciate that, because there's a lot of tower defense games, and most of them don't do anything of the bloody sort. I'll tell you that for a fact. Alright, we're gonna have to switch configuration. Split them up. Shields are holding, for the most part. We have nasty meteorites heading in this general direction. Don't like that. Opening fire from here. He's not gonna go down either. We can go wide angle on this as they approach the missile launcher. Rapid fire on this. Let's give the engines a boost in the process. That's a lot of meteors! We probably should have built some shields. Oh, engines almost went down too. Good lord. Alright, well, the missiles might be able to destroy that. I think we're going to need some bigger guns. The question is, where the hell can we even put them? Just maybe standard lasers then. So one towards the back. There you go, pop. Alright, that's what we like to see. We're going to need more engines as well. Get some more thrust going on here. Let's get some rapid fire. There we go. Okay. Now we're doing a little better. That's what we like to see. Let's maybe get some more missile launchers here. Maybe some front-mounted missile launchers. There we go. That is a lot of nasty bastards. Alright. Aim it forward. Repair. Ah. Will I live? Okay, just. Whew. Stressful. Bloody well. No, no, don't do that. No, no. Why is there not a cancel button? Okay, put wide angle on the missile launchers. Wide angle on both the missile launchers. There we go. We should be able to fire from here. Repair this. Repair that. Now, there are hotkeys for a lot of this. If I had criticism of this game, aside from its obvious difficulty... And let's repair that. There we go. Outside of the obvious thing about the difficulty, if I were to criticize it, it would be in terms of its interface. There's maybe just a few too many clicks required to get things done. What I would like to see is the ability for me to hover over something and then hit a hotkey to do something. But as it stands, there's an extra click involved. And considering the speed at which you have to do a lot of this stuff, that actually matters more than you might think. Okay. Come on, I really want another one of these big guns, but I just don't have the space for it. Alright, it's gonna have to be missiles, I think. Thankfully, you can put these, like, almost everywhere. I have a lot of stuff coming in this general direction. Let's get a laser cannon on the edge. We have a lot of stuff coming in our general direction. I don't like that. Let's get wide angle on there, wide angle on there. I'm not sure if that... Oh, that one is actually firing, so good. That's exactly what it needs to be. Inflate the shields to make sure that the lasers are covered. Put rapid fire on there. Boost the engines. See if we can catch it. We're not going to get light speed on this, I don't think. That's very unlikely to happen. Shields are holding on the back there, which is always good. Do a hot fix to fix all the stuff around here. But you see kind of the amount of micromanagement that's required? That's a real strength of the game, and I like the fact that it has that much micromanagement on it. But again, I think that the extra click can really hurt the game, and can really hurt your ability to properly control everything. And I don't think that those clicks are actually necessary a lot of the time. Oh, that power's about to go down, isn't it? No, shields are up. There we go. There we go. So yeah, I think that they could definitely fix that. The hover over would work particularly well. Outside of that, maybe they just need to change the pauseless mode to kind of a hardcore difficulty. And actually put a pause, or at least some kind of tactical pause. Maybe just have it as a time-limited thing, or some kind of time dilation effect to keep up with things. I could barely even focus on what I'm doing, just trying to stay alive through some of these missions. It is really stressful, but it's highly rewarding. Really, really fun. It's a really nice experience overall. I like the fact that each of the different sets of factions that you're dealing with are going to give you different kinds of cargo that you have to try and handle, and they all have different little things you got to worry about. You know, the nuclear stuff has a tendency to explode, the passenger stuff needs to be powered and also needs to be on the outsides of the ship, which restricts where you can put other stuff. Mechanics can build more containers to get you more money, but simultaneously, not only does that cost you in-game currency, but it also requires it to use up valuable space that could otherwise be used for defenses and all sorts of things like that. You can see why it would be compelling. It's highly, highly compelling. Let's buy a fusion reactor. There we go. So it's a really, really fun game, honestly. Like I said, really bloody stressful, but regardless, extremely enjoyable. It doesn't have a multiplayer mode. That I will say, unfortunately. I think it would certainly be nice if it had either multiplayer or some kind of different mode. Maybe there'd be some sort of challenge mode or something along those lines. Hard to say precisely what you would want in a title like this, but the only mode is the story mode. And if I was to criticize something else, the story is pretty stupid, honestly. The android who accompanies you and gives you tips is, frankly, not very well written and pretty irritating most of the time. You might want to turn him off. Honestly, you really may wish to turn him off, because he is not that fun to listen to. Frankly, just kind of silly for the most part. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can take this one on. I'm hoping this one gun should be enough if it can actually get in range. I'd like to turn the laser beam on, but I don't have enough power there. I'd have to overload in order to make that happen. Maybe I should have actually put I should have built one of those fusion reactors there, shouldn't I? There we go, because that you would think would do a better job of powering at the front. And that should enable the big laser beam effect, which I haven't actually seen yet, so I want to see how well that does. Should have built that earlier, because I don't have any power for the bloody gun right now. There we go. Alright, okay. Open fire on the bastard. Take the smuggler out, and activate the beam. Oh yeah! That's what I like to see. I like the fact that there's a decent amount of weapon variety, and more to the point, this is what they did well, right? Some of the guns are kind of upgrades to the previous guns. Like, oh, it's a double laser cannon. Yes, but they give different abilities to the double laser cannons. And that was a really smart thing to do. Instead of it just being a more powerful version of the laser, it actually has different amounts of flexibility and activatables that you can throw at it, which is kind of great. I like that a great deal. The fact that I can switch configuration on this, this can have rapid fire. This I can switch configuration, but I can also go with a kind of continuous laser pulse, which is pretty fun to watch, honestly. A lot of fun to watch indeed. Alright, let's get some more engines on this thing. I think we're doing okay for the moment. See if we can stay alive. Thankfully, I think this is one of the first missions for this faction, so maybe this will get a little bit easier. Get a missile launcher at the front there, since we seem to be dealing with a lot of front enemies. That doesn't look pleasant. I might need shields. Okay, everything's been powered up here. Things are looking alright. That needs to be fixed up. We do maybe need a little bit of cash. Yeah, we got a lot of nasty stuff coming at us. Hopefully we'll be able to take it out. Can't move this around. There we go. Let's redeploy it into its different configuration. We've got a wide angle on this, and then we should be able to start launching missiles at the bastard. There we go. And they actually have shields, which is not that helpful, but if we can get enough cash to get rapid fire going, then we should be able to break those shields down quite easily. Never mind, it doesn't have power, so that's not actually going to work at all. We're going to have to switch configuration back to front lasers, make sure this doesn't explode, which it very well might. Yep, and suddenly everything falls to pieces. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's the way that Space Run goes. Yeah, it's really, really good. Honestly, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it a great deal. It is damn stressful, and I think it would definitely do better, at least with some checkpoints. And I've played things like Defense Grid that have had more generous checkpoints than this, and some of these missions, even like quite early on in the game, are running 8 to 9 minutes. And there are plenty of opportunities for you to screw up, whereby it's just best for you to restart the whole thing. It doesn't even do things like save your ship configuration. Let's say if I were to do this one right here, I've got to place 2 nuclear cisterns and 2 fuel tanks. And I had to do this mission multiple times because it's quite tricky. It would be nice to be able to save this configuration so that you didn't have to redo it again every single time that you fail. And it would also be nice to not have to have this little cutscene every time. It's just a little bit of wasted time. If you're going to make people restart the game as much as you do, then at least kind of respect their time in this regard. But I think maybe just a couple of checkpoints, just a few, not too many, just a little bit, just a wee bit, folks. That would be good. And maybe a little bit of that time dilation, slowdown, or even a tactical pause would certainly make the game a hell of a lot less stressful than it currently is. And hey, if you want that stress, then make a hardcore mode where that stuff is turned off. It is rare for me to turn around and say, hey, I think the game maybe is a smidge bit difficult, but maybe it is a smidge bit difficult. Just a little. Not too much. You know, there's going to be other people that can deal with this just fine. Personally, my multitasking is terrible, and my brain just kind of melts trying to play Space Run. For a lot of people, I imagine this will not be a problem in any way, so bear in mind it's very much a subjective complaint. But it would be nice to have the option, because I really like the game. It's just I feel like my hair is falling out as I'm trying to play it because it is that damn stressful. Really good spin on tower defense, though. Really enjoyable, fun game with a lot of depth and a great deal of challenge, with the occasional difficulty spike from time to time. My name's been TotalBiscuit, taking a look at Space Run. Currently available on Steam for $15 or your regional equivalent. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.